years to make the FSU Libraries the permanent home of the Florida Book Awards. In that capacity, I want to express my heartfelt congratulations to all the winners of the Book Awards this year. I'm a native Floridian and I'm a lifelong book lover, and I never fail to be surprised and delighted by the wonderful books that are being published about and within this state. And I want to thank you all for your wonderful work. Tonight also we are starting a new tradition. We're celebrating the start of the Abitz Family Dinner, the very first Abitz Family Dinner, to honor the Florida Book Award winners. This has come about because of the generosity of Wayne and Shirley Wiegand. Many of you know that Wayne Wiegand, along with John Finstermaker, as FSU faculty members a few years ago, started the Florida Book Awards, and they have turned it into perhaps the most stellar book awards program of any state in our country. I would like to ask Wayne to come to the podium and tell us about the Abitz Family Dinner.
We put this slide presentation together in the last 32 seconds. Okay, first give me number one, Mike, please. This is the image that's on your program. A 1960 picture of Rolly and Norma Abitz and their 4 girls. Lynn, upper left-hand corner, Shirley, upper center, Donna, upper right, Karen, lower left. Pretty typical German-American Wisconsin family, but what is not evident from this picture is strength of family. After I married Cheryl in 1965, I began observing this strength, and I'd like to relate a few anecdotes about this family that will help you background this first Abitz Family Dinner. Mom ran the family, although in the 1950s patriarchal culture that surrounded them, she generally winnowed the family's major decisions to 2 options, either of which she pre-approved. Dad, a very gentle man, then made the final decision. I think the girls learned from this practice. Some of you know Cheryl and I recently moved from Tallahassee to California's Bay Area. While I closed on the Tallahassee house, Cheryl was in California weighing options for redecorating the condo we purchased. By the time I got there, she had options winnowed down to 2 or 3. The tradition continues. Strength of family. Next one, Micah. Oh, not yet, sorry. Strength of family. After 3 miscarriages and a stillborn child, Karen finally gave birth to a son in 1990. 2 years later, she died of a brain aneurysm in front of him. 6 years after that, the boy's disabled father died of a stroke, again, in front of his eyes. Without hesitation, Sister Lynn and her partner, now spouse Laurel Mills, took him in, became his legal guardians, and raised him to become a fine young man. Meet Josh Dietering. Hopefully. Meet Josh Dietering, an NAIA academic All-American cross-country runner who last Friday led his team to the NCAA Division III National Track Championship. Strength of family. Next one, Michael. Oh, that's not the right one. Sorry.
A handsome family.
And that handsome guy with the beard, really nice. Any idea which one?
Go to another. Yeah, try that. Out there. The picture you're missing is a picture of Tracy, age 7, in 1984. Before giving her up for adoption, her birth parents taught her to steal things from the pockets of coats hung on wall hangers at Wisconsin bars they frequented regularly. As you can imagine, after Donna and her husband Lenny adopted her in 1985, their family experienced many uncomfortable moments during Tracy's adolescent years. Through force of will, however, they persevered. Here's a recent photo of Tracy Schwalbach, her husband, and their 5 children. She's become a model mother, very family-oriented and honest to a fault, just like Donna. just like Norma. Strength of family. Okay, Micah, let's try another one. Hope I get it.
Which number are we on now?
5, let's try it. 5, there you go. Oh, is that possible to turn that? There you go. Front page of the New York Times for October 15th, 1991. This is particularly relevant if you read the New York Times yesterday morning. When Anita Hill returned to Oklahoma after testifying before the Senate Judiciary Committee in hearings that caught the nation's attention and unleashed a vicious campaign of vituperation against her. The person behind her is Cheryl, at the time teaching law at the University of Oklahoma and Anita's best friend on the faculty. At Anita's request, Cheryl accompanied her to Washington for the hearings, and because of their friendship, Cheryl caught much of that vituperation. In the 22 years since, Cheryl never complained about the pain and anguish that friendship brought her. Mom and Dad taught their girls, you stand by your friends. Okay, now if you can find that photo of me and Cheryl and the kids. There we go. Photo of Cheryl, me, and our 3 children, Corey, Scott, and Andy, taken at Andy's wedding in 2001. Although 4 of these 5 souls were born Wiegans, evaluated against the strength of their families, they're really all Abitzes. Plenty of anecdotes to prove that if I had the time. Had they lived, Mom and Dad died in their early 60s in the 1980s. They would have celebrated the strength of family manifest in the lives of their children and now their grandchildren. When John Fenstermaker and I conceptualized the Florida Book Awards in 2006, part of our motivation was to bring focus to authors whose work encourages readers to think of themselves as Floridians, another kind of family with its own kind of strength. As a state of mostly in-migrants, we thought Florida needed to improve its sense of family, and we hoped the FBA would become a step in that direction. I stand here tonight elated not only at what the Florida Book Awards has become under Gloria Colvin's leadership, but also awed by the talent assembled in this room. A group of writers so strong it easily places Florida in the top 5 states in the country for quality writing. For all these reasons, Cheryl and I are delighted to inaugurate this Abitz Family Dinner, an annual event that in future years will continue to recognize the family of authors that give strength to the Sunshine State's culture of books. We thank you for this opportunity, and Gloria says, I remind you the cash bar will be open all during dinner.
And Gloria also wanted me to remind you to put your little card that says chicken, or whatever it says, at your plate so the servers can see it. Thank you.